Welcome back to SaharaTV. My name is Rudolph Okonkwo. This is the Skype call segment. This is when we give you the chance to give us feedback on some of the programs we've been presenting to you today. It's been a very interesting day. We have been on the story of Senator-elect Kashamu, who is currently under house arrest by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in his home in Lagos. We also had some discussions on the transition. You all know that in 6 days, May 29th, we are going to have a change in government in Nigeria, where we are going to have the opposition, a former opposition party, APC, coming into office to take over from the PDP, which is something that has never happened in Nigerian history. So we are going to quickly go to the Skype and talk to our Skype callers who have been waiting patiently for us to get to this segment. Let me introduce our Skype callers. Olusegun in Nashville. Olusegun, welcome to SaharaTV.
Thank you.
From Canada, we have Yemi. Yemi, welcome to SaharaTV.
Thank you, Rudolph.
And from Ogun State, Nigeria, we have Jimmy. Jimmy, welcome to SaharaTV.
Thank you, Rudolph.
And from Geneva, we have Hansen. Hansen, welcome to SaharaTV.
Thanks so much, Rudolph.
All right, let's start with the major story today, which is Kashamu. I'll come to you. Let me start from you are in Ogun State. Jimmy, he's the senator representing Ogun State in the Senate. He may not make it to the Senate on Friday to be sworn in. But we are not sure really what is happening. What is your take on some of the things we had today, that his house was stormed, he's currently under house arrest, and they are taking him to court on Monday?
Yes, why I'm baffled is that why is it they waited so late? You know, we've been saying this on SaharaTV, even in the news, it's been there. And the last time we had him just blabbing and lying, saying one allergy is his brother, I can't find him and stuff. So why so late? That's what I'm looking at. So late, you know.
Now, he also suggested, we spoke to the attorney, and the attorney suggested that Olusegun Obasanjo, the former president, is behind what is happening now. Do you think that is possible?
Oh, there's nothing impossible, you know. With what happened to one, is he unwell, or the lady, you know, holding the in charge of the foundation, you know, and Showori said something that the Baba knows how to cover his tracks so that things will never be linked to him. So I know there's a very powerful force behind Kashamu. That's why he has the audacity to do what he's doing.
Now, for people in your states who are supposedly sending him to Abuja to represent them, how do people feel about this latest development?
You know, the level of education, as it were, about people here is a bit low. Like I say, people are a bit ignorant about some of these things. You get what I'm saying? Like today, I was speaking with a Muslim guy, and I asked him, were you aware of the fact that there was a bomb blast in Saudi Arabia yesterday that killed some Shiite Muslims? He said, no, he doesn't know anything, you know, and he doesn't even know anything about ISIS. So people are not well informed here. So they just do what they do when they see a big man come around, spray money, and want them to, you know, jump with their head over, and they just do it because of money. People are really poor here.
All right, yeah. Let me go to Canada and speak to Yemi. Yemi, what is your take on today's story about Kashamu?
Well, it's a welcome development. Like the last speaker said, it's rather late, but it's better late than never. And with the new dispensation, I foresee we'll be seeing a lot of this. We'll be seeing a lot of this, and even though, yeah, if there are power brokers behind this happening, if it's like a vendetta or whatever, the thing is, the question to ask is the person guilty? Does he have a crime on his neck? If he does, he needs to dance to the tune of the law. And I foresee a lot of this coming up, and I don't think we should make a big news of it, because there are more important things we need to focus on. Yes, we need to fight corruption, we need to fight the bad guys, and let the law follow his due course.
All right, thank you. Olusegun in Nashville, Tennessee, what is your take?
I think we live in a society where mediocres and, like fella said, vagabonds are the ones that are in power. And I think Nemesis will catch up with them one by one. One by one. And if it's the Buhari, I know, yes, Diagon is not there again. And I know we're in a political dispensation. I think it's a step in the right direction.
Okay, but are you worried that there might be, according to the lawyer, there is a court injunction saying that they should not take any action until they go to court on the 27th? Are you worried that they might be doing something illegal, even if they are trying to deal with serious issues, that they are not following the law?
I am not worried at all. You know, one of the speakers said that people who elect him, the first question I want to ask there is it really the people that elected him, or how did he get there? What are his antecedents? In this part of the world, I mean, there have been cases of 2 governors in prison right now, you know. So nobody is above the law in this part of the world. So I'm not worried at all.
Okay, all right. Hansen in Geneva. Hansen, what is your take on the story of Kashamu?
Yes, Rudolph, you know, what amused me in Nigeria is that the people that shout corruption, they are the most corrupt elements, number one. Secondly, listen, if the guy has done something wrong, it's obvious that he has to pay. But the question is that there are some people that have done such a thing in United States that are in Nigeria. Some of them are governors. Some of them have become senators. They are still there walking around freely. Person like Tinubu, why only him? So to me, if he has done something wrong, it's good that he should be called to justice. Okay, let justice prevail. But what I don't accept is when it has to do, when it becomes a witch hunt. So why him now? That guy has been there for years, playing politics, okay, with the Baba OBJ. Since when he fall out with him, that is when the whole world start to know that he's corrupt and he's a drug pusher. What of Tinubu?
All right. Let me say that this topic is something that we didn't plan to make the subject of our conversation today, because today we know that the president-elect went to England. He went yesterday. He met with the Prime Minister of Britain. Today we saw the picture, and his media team came out yesterday to say that it was a private visit. So I want to go back to our Skype callers to get their view on how the Buhari team handled this trip, and why did he leave the country 6 days, essentially less than 7 days, if you like, to the inauguration, and when is he coming back? What is behind this? We try to talk to journalists in Nigeria. They are also baffled at what is happening. So, Jimmy, let me come back to you. When you heard that the president, who is supposed to take office in 7 days, is out of the country, what crossed your mind?
The first thing is that maybe he's trying to prepare a background for how to caging the potential runaway thief, you know. And then, you know, the closest place that they can easily run to is Britain and America. You get what I'm saying now? Mm-hmm. So going there, maybe to discuss about how our country is broke and this is what we need to do. So you'll be able to see how if they want to extradite some, if they will even help in arresting some, they will be able to do that and do that quickly. You know, that was what came to my mind.
I like your idea, and knowing that he was in the same flight with Desiani Alison Madeke,
yeah,
that would be an interesting discussion with the authorities in Britain. All right, Yemi, what do you think about how the president-elect, his team, they've been handling the transition?
Well, so far so good. From the information I read online, the outgoing cabinet, they're really not cooperating, and that's really hindering them to move forward. But however, a lot of articles have come out there that this administration is going to get the worst handover ever in the history of Nigeria, and the worst economy. There's fuel scarcity right now across the nation. There's serious power drop. There's no power supply across the nation, and it's so sad that, and the expectation is so high for the incoming administration, and the transition will come and it will go by God's grace, and we will move forward as a nation, and I just hope Nigeria all the best.
All right. Olusegun, let me ask you, the transition. We had, like Yemi said now, we had that they were not cooperating. The people who are working with President Jonathan have now been cooperating with the committee that was set up by incoming President Buhari. What does that say about how they are going to start their role in the next 6 days?
I think that, there was a news I saw on the internet when General Buhari said that he became a president
at the wrong time, yes.
Yeah. So I think I was discussing with one of my friends last week, and I was telling the person that, look, a military government is different from a democratic government. Now, Buhari will not be able to wield the big stick because whether he likes it or not, some people contributed to bring him there. And of course, we all know that the ministerial appointments are going to be the first source of the civil war that's going to happen within the yes, that is going to be the first thing. And secondly, I was also discussing with somebody yesterday, and the person, I was asking of a pastor friend, and he said, oh, he's with Professor Shibada. He was, they're looking for something. I said, now, they are all going to be disappointed, especially the vice president. His integrity will be at stake, and a lot of people will be disappointed. It's not going to be business as usual. My advice to them is, if it's one agenda they want to pursue in 4 years, if it's electricity, for example, let them focus solely on electricity and not dabble into different things. It's unfortunate the kind of culture we all came from, the kind of society we all came from, where to go serve the government is to go chop money. That's what it's saying. It is very unfortunate, and I think the sooner somebody like Buhari corrects this, let them make the government, the central government, let them make it unattractive. In Texas, the governor earns meager. So everybody doesn't want to become a governor because you end up not earning anything. The president here everybody knows how much he earns. So I think the more they settle down, forget about whether the handover, this thing, or, they cannot probe everybody from the past government. The more they settle down, the earlier they settle down, the better.
Okay. All right. Hansen, let me ask you, I know before the election you were leaning towards the PDP. I want you to tell me, based on what you've seen so far, in the performance of the incoming Buhari administration, or the team, do you think that, do you have anything that impressed you, or are you worried about something?
Buhari has not done anything, so we are waiting. I cannot wait to see him take over power, number one. Secondly, all his promises with Osibanjo is well documented. Okay, we are waiting for them to, do the magic, because they say that we do magic. We are waiting for them to do the magic. I will be very, very, very happy. I am one of the people that, tell our fellow citizens they should support him, give him the necessary support. so that for him to perform. So we hope that he will perform. But if you ask me to tell you the truth is that it won't be easy for them. And me personally, I'm not expecting anything from him because I know the way Nigeria is of today. You understand me? I've said it before, I will say it again. If you bring in Obama to handle Nigeria the way Nigeria is today, Obama won't do anything. Buhari is not the problem. Buhari is not the Messiah Nigeria needs. Our Messiah, what we need in Nigeria is to reform Nigeria, change the rotten system that we are practicing. That is only way Nigeria will be a better country. So if everybody if Nigerians want, they should put all their hope in Buhari. To me, Buhari and Osibanjo can't do anything. They are not magicians.
Okay. Okay. Jimmy, they are not magicians. Do you think it has something to do with the fact that the country is broke? We had this week that Nigeria is owing over $60 billion. And we are handing over a country to a new administration in what the coming administration said is the worst economic shape the country has ever been. What are you seeing? You are in Nigeria there. What are you seeing that are indicators that things are not easy?
Yes, the price increase, in recent months now, the inflation has risen from 0.8% to 12%, Although, when I was discussing with some colleagues at work, they didn't see a bit of big deal in it. This is what I'm talking about in terms of people being enlightened and being educated about what is going on in their lives, economically and socially and otherwise in Nigeria. Very limited set of people are highly educated about how bad things are. But now, I told somebody today, I said, it's like, permit me to use this Igbo word. I said, some people are there and they are tightening everything up wire, that's small. So that's the way it is, so that people will not really feel it. Already Nigeria, we have been in crisis right from time. You understand? So somebody who is down needs no fall. So that's why people are not really responding as it should be, as people in the US or in the UK would respond. But really, Rudolph, it's pretty bad. Something happened in the park about 2 weeks ago. I was at the park. A boy selling food came to me to beg that he wanted to buy food.
Buy what?
The boy was hawking food.
And he came to you and said he wanted to buy food.
Yes, that I should give him money, that he wants to buy food. I was like, oh, there's food. Right now, they are buying it at the rate of 200 naira per liter.
Okay.
And yes, and I was at Ikoyi yesterday, and those guys stealing oil from the IC are the one now supplying fuel. No fuel station is selling, so people have to carry their keg and wait at the beach and wait for the guys to come in with their flying boots, and they buy from them 200 naira or so per liter. And
then there are lines before you can buy it.
Not only lines, fuel stations selling. One man was telling me about his experience that he went to buy a keg, a 4-liter gallon, and he paid 1,000 naira, and still he couldn't get that 4-liter enough. So they have even, they are sustaining in dispensing that fuel, haven't increased the price. So they are not even, selling the quantity that is expected. How can you buy I used to buy a gallon before for 500 naira, but you are paying 1,000 naira and it's not even filled to the brim.
Wow. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yemi, let me ask you, recently there were some statements from President-elect Buhari. One of them was when he said that from May 29th, nobody should call him a general. And also, we read a report that he rejected the ministerial list that were given to him by state governors. How do you read those statements and those things coming from Buhari?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Change. Things needs to be done differently, and I'm surprised that Anson is making comment is quite negative. And President Obama took over President Bush after 2 wars, and the economy of the states was really bad. And
Nigeria and America is not the same, bro.
Hanson, let him finish. I'll give you the chance to talk. Go ahead, Yemi.
And Obama has been able to do wonderfully in the economy of U.S. Going to Asia, Singapore, the founder of Singapore moved Singapore from third world to first world nation. And Nigeria is the most, I can categorically say that, is the most blessed nation in the world in terms of human capital. Human capital. I'm not talking about resources here. I'm talking about human capital. The number of registered medical doctors in United States is more than the medical doctors living in Nigeria. Look, and there are a lot of people, a lot of Nigerians are selfless. They wanna help Nigeria to be a better nation. And with the right leadership, which we're having. That's why you have a general that's saying, don't call me general. He said they should remove the excellency title from the presidency. That we need to be humble to the people of Nigeria, and we need to start doing things selflessly. However, like what Anson said, nobody can just wave a wand and fix everything overnight. It's not about Buhari. It's about me and you. It's about everybody coming in collectively to dip in the hand in the pot and try and make a difference in the nation. He earlier said he was talking about Tinubu being corrupt or whatever. I don't know. Do you have any documentation? Do you have any evidence that points to that?
We have seen it, my friend.
So
don't do that.
The thing is, you cannot.
Hanson, please let him finish. Go finish, Yemi, please.
So the society has been corrupt for over decades, and you don't expect corruption to disappear overnight. It's going to take a process. It's going to take years for it to gradually eradicate. I'm even proposing an education system whereby anti-corruption programs is being taught from primary level to tertiary institution in order for us to eradicate this thing. So the mindset is different. And Anson, and you see the mindset, some people come to America, they come to Europe, they still think like Nigerians. They don't think positively. They believe something that's wrong can never be right. So the thing is, we need to start thinking differently. We need to start thinking, like they say, outside the box. And believe me, the fuel crisis, the power supply, the police. Let me give you one scenario. This is true life. I lived in Port Harcourt for close to 4 years, and I went into Shell RA, and I was shocked. I saw the policemen smiling. They were very courteous. They were asking me questions politely. And I was like, are these policemen? The same uniform was very clean. And I was wondering, why is it different? They have a clinic of their own. The doctors there are Nigerians. They have a fire brigade. The fire brigade there, they are all Nigerians. But once you step out of Shell RA, Shell residential area, it's the total opposite. So why is it that Nigerians could, in that little bubble, it's like being abroad, and when you step out, it's a different thing. It's a matter of leadership, and that leadership, you're going to see that moving through in the next 4 years.
All right, thank you, Yemi. I'll give you a chance to respond, Hanson, just briefly, because I have to go back to Nashville. Go ahead, Hanson.
Rudolph, number one, I don't believe in blah, 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 blah. Once a general is always a general. So you cannot take it away, number one. Secondly, he talks about Tinubu. I believe, Yemi, you are not a Tinubu lawyer, okay, because all his sins are well documented, okay, you know about it. Third part of it, Nigeria as a country, there's something that Mr. Olusegun said here. He said that the problem with Nigerian politicians that they are not there to serve, but they are there to steal. And he said that it won't be possible, it's so easy for Buhari because democracy is not a military regime. So that is why I said even before the election, we've debated here several times. I said that military regime, you can never use military regime to compare democracy. What is in Bulgaria, we find it very, very difficult. He will find it very, very difficult because those degree 4, degree 2, or degree whatever will not be applied anymore. And the Nigerian politicians are well corrupt. And not only that Nigerian politicians are corrupt, the system we practice help them to be corrupt. So, except the only way Nigeria will be good is that if Buhari comes on 29th of May, say that, okay, now the whole system, we need to overhaul everything. Good. He makes an example with Singapore, example with United States of America, example with other some Western countries. Fine. Those countries, there are equality of law. All their citizens are all equal in the face of their constitution, and their constitution represents everybody in their country. Nigerian case, is it the same? The answer is no. I've been living in the Western world for many years like you, Yemi. You got the point. I don't think backwards. Okay. I think positive, but I am saying the truth that it won't do any magic. Nigeria is corrupt. The system is, absolutely messed up. So he won't do anything in these coming 4 years, except our system is absolutely overhauled.
All right, thank you. Let me go back to Nashville. Olusegun, let me ask you, there was this report that I tried to investigate, that the National Assembly, they spent 600 billion in the last 6 years, and they were able to pass only 106 bills. The report was in Premium Times, and we spoke to the general editor today, and he confirmed that nobody was embarrassed about this in the National Assembly. What do you think about the cost of governance in Nigeria, and how are we going to achieve some of these hope and promises out there when the country is broke? Meanwhile, the political elite are still getting the kind of money that is unthinkable in other countries in the world.
The first thing I would say is, let there be a policy or a system to make the political echelon or government very unattractive. When you make that unattractive, there will not be the jostle from people to say, I want to become this, because they know there is not money there. I was impressed by, I saw a video on YouTube of Benmore Bruce recently. And for the first time, I was very happy that somebody is even thinking right. I don't know whether you guys saw it.
Yeah, I watched it.
Where he really talked intelligently. And I think, well, what I ask myself is, this is just one person. One person. Yes, he might not be able to influence much, but I think, as Yemi said, one by one person plus one person. I agree with Hansen that the system is messed up, but at least a president has emerged. Yes, he might not be able to wield the big stick as he wants, but I think we should think positively and proactively and said, okay, this person, let's see what he will do. I am personally so disappointed with Jonathan and his cohorts, because this is a PhD holder, supposedly, that is supposed to think aright. So I ask myself once in a while that, why do we always have each of the members of the Congress here, they drive themselves. You you see them on traffic lights. They don't have drivers. They don't, they are so cautious because they can go to prison anytime. So I think that there needs to be an overhaul of the system and make that National Assembly and every part of that government unattractive. There are a lot of my classmates in Nigeria right now that are, they're jostling. I learned that one of them just got elected. He went and joined a cult just to be elected into the state's House of Assembly. And I asked him, I was in the Federal Civil Service before. I was actually in the Federal Civil Service before. And I got so frustrated with the system. But as I said, if I don't know how it's going to happen, change of culture, change of orientation, it's going to take a lot. But as Yemi said, let it be from everybody, one day at a time. And I think with the headship over there, yes, they're going to eat money, but at what expense? I think Buhari will stand his feet. And I think we should not put our trust in him, but support him to be able to at least move things forward.
Okay.
Can I come? Okay.
Who is this?
That's Jimmy.
Okay, Jimmy. Okay, go ahead, Jimmy.
Okay. Like myself, I believe that there are some things that are not humanly possible for any government anywhere in the world to actually eradicate, like poverty. You can't eradicate it. Even in America, we have poor people, sickness, death, crime. You understand? Well, there's much you can do in order to reduce them. For example, look at Lagos State. Lagos State was taken from what I would say the incinerator, and now it's better. If that can happen in Lagos State, I want to believe like what Yemi said. It will happen, in most parts of Nigeria, and it's about unlearning and learning new things. I'll give you an example. Personally, when I started working in a British environment in Nigeria here, where you have expatriates, it was difficult for me to understand what is professionalism. My white boss always tell me, you have to be professional. You have to be professional. It took like 4 years for me to now adjust and understand that, it is actually not professional for you to even be on phone when you're at work, just gisting with your wife or you are gisting with a friend. These are things that gradually we need to imbibe the culture of doing things right. And we should start from school, like what Yemi said, from our redesigning our curriculum. Are you getting me now? From the primary school. I'm a teacher, but unfortunately, I don't teach in the regular Nigerian school. I run the British curriculum. I went as far as going to Cambridge to get myself educated well. And I've, gone to Nigerian university. When I came out and I started working with the expatriates, it's as if I've never gone to the real school in my life. Do you get what I'm saying? So we need to now start to, redesign the curriculum in school, and people now will be able to relate what they learn in school with their life. Our system is bookish. We just read for reading's sake to pass and move on. We don't read to learn in order to better our lives. Do you understand? So if we can do that, as it were, like what Shugo said, corruption can be reduced to the barest minimum. Our police, we need to reorientate them, and we need to put them in a condition that is glorifying for humans. Look at the example Shugo gave in Shell. The simple thing is that same police, same human, have been put into a well-dignifying environment with all that is needed to make you think right. And they're doing the right thing. Or if you put, like I said, if you go to the police barracks, you should, if you know the police barracks very well, you should not expect that a policeman will not be corrupt. The biggest corruption I've experienced with police was when Showore was interviewing maybe the PRA from Abuja or something, and to the media, in the national, he was trying to even cover their corruption. When Showore was given indices and evidence of what they have done that is, abysmal, that is bad. But if we start from the school, we start to tell ourselves that, this is the right thing, let's do it. The first time I went to UK, I was behaving practically like a dog. As in, I couldn't, there were dogs that were even better off. I'm sorry to say this. Because I couldn't cross the road properly. An elderly person, about 75-year-old Nigerian that was leading me, was one shouting that, Jimmy, come along, they will wait for you. Because in Nigeria, if you get to the zebra crossing, if you dare step on, they will knock you off.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So we need that orientation and training. Do you understand? And gradually, things will now be better for, all and sundry. And then there will still be corruption anyway. There's corruption in America, in the UK, there's corruption. Do you get what I'm saying? But we can reduce it and not institutionalize it. I think Anthony is listening to this.
Okay.
Can I come in?
Go ahead, Yemi.
Yeah, Shogo.
Shogo, go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
No, this is Yemi. I just want to make a comment about Shogo.
Okay, all right.
Now, Shogo, what you said is already part of the plan of this incoming administration. What Anson is asking for is already part of the plan of this administration. There would be a total overhaul of the entire system, coming from state level to federal level, down to even local government level. Now, I don't know if you watched one speech El Rufai gave, and that speech is about making the political system unattractive. Maybe that word is not good. More patriotic, because if you are patriotic, you would not steal from the purse of the government. So, and from what he said, unfortunately, our forefathers, our founding fathers of Nigeria, they are the cause of this problem. Because when they took over from the colonialists, the colonial masters, they did not break down that system. Because they came here, they knew they were going back. They still had their mortgages in UK that they were paying. So they had a house, they gave them a house, they gave them driver, they gave them cook and everything. That same system was kept. Instead of the founding fathers to break that system down and say, look, we need to run government as effective as possible, as cost effective as possible. That wasn't broken down, and that's what brought us to the point we are right now. And I will see the administration now that's coming in, they will lead by example. When Buhari comes in and they give him a salary of maybe 2 million naira a month, and he says, no, the country is broke. I'm going to pay myself 1 million, 50% cut on all salaries. If the president does that, how will he not trickle down? Ask me, how will he not trickle down? So the truth of the matter is, when we have had leadership that's so bad for so long, people tend to think that negative way. But once we start seeing the light, people will start changing their mindset, and things would get better. So I don't like the negativity. It's true that the system is bad. It's true that there's a lot to be done, but we can still do it. We can still fix Nigeria.
Thank you. Hansen, let me come to you. I will give you the chance to talk, but let me frame this for you. I spoke to the general editor of Premium Times a few hours ago, and I asked him about Ben Bruce, which came up in a discussion here now. And he said that probably Ben Bruce has been born again, and is a new person. Now, I want to ask you, in terms of, I understand that most people, because of the years of conditionalities and everything we've gone through, most people have no reason to be optimistic. But do you think that there is a chance that if individuals decide that we should hold this incoming government accountable, that we could push them in the right direction?
First of all, I want to say something. I want to clear something first. Nobody is negative here, okay? Because we are talking about the future of our future and the future of our children, okay? We are not negative. But I don't want you, Yemi, to take it that we are being negative. I said, even the first time that Bulgari won, I said that we should give him the chance. We should support him. I'm supporting him. But that does not mean that if I see anything that maybe the administration do that is wrong, that I should not voice it out. It doesn't work that way. If I don't voice it out, that means it's no more a democracy. That one apart. The problem is that Rudolph, let me be sincere to you. What is paining me in Nigeria as a country is that, you know, you will see someone that is corrupt and steal money. After some years, he will come back, tell you that, listen, I'm born again. I'm a better person now. Fine, you're a better person. Then where is those money, the money that you took away? Why don't you bring it back? Of course, each human needs a second chance in life. But at least you need to pay first for your sin, the sins that you committed. Of course, when you listen to what he said, it's good. But the problem is that, why has he not been saying something like that for long? Why now? That's the question. Well, as Igbo people say that, so that means that whenever you wake up, it's your morning. If Nigerians are waking up today, it's not yet bad.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, this is a programming announcement. On Friday and Saturday of next week, we are going to have special coverage of the inauguration of the incoming administration. So we're going to be live on air from 10 a.m. New York time to 4 p.m. New York time. So let me come back to you, Shogo. The people are expecting a lot from this incoming government. We asked people online, in the next first 100 days of the administration, what are your expectations of them? What do you expect the Buhari government to do in the first 100 days of the administration? You with us? Okay, I think we lost him.
Can you hear me?
Are you
We can hear him. He's here.
We can hear him.
Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Honestly, nothing in the first 100 days. And the reason why I said nothing is because there's a adage in Yoruba that before you take a step forward, you need to retrace backward. So I would expect him to understudy the system which he left almost 20-something years ago. If I were him, I would form a committee to understudy what is wrong with our system. What can we do? Then after 100 days, you can now begin to implement some policy. That's my own opinion there. Because if you try, you see, one of the faults of the past government is a fire brigade approach. You know, people will come there, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you bamboozle. That's why we have not been able to sort out the electricity system in Nigeria today. Because another government will come in. I mean, yeah, agreed, Jonathan is not good, but I believe there's still some things that he has done. Consolidate on those ones. I mean, some good things that he has done. Consolidate on that one. I mean, look at Obasanjo, for example. Whether we like it or not, the insurance system, health insurance, yeah, it's not perfect over there, but at least he started something. Yeah, it's not the best of all. Consolidate on all those. What is the fault? What is the problem? You know, how can we make it better? Some of those things, the telecom system, how can we make it better? Then after 100 days, you can now sit down with your cabinet, your kitchen cabinet, and begin to, what can we do to better this? What can we do to better that? And let me say this, the people who are going to implement the government agenda are the civil service. The civil service in Nigeria is rotten. And sacking people is not going to solve the problem.
What do we have to do?
Re-educating people. You know, I think, as Yemi said, and as Jimmy said, yeah, starting from the primary school upward, but the people there now, what can we do? Not sack them, I mean, but re-educating people and make them understand the consequences of their actions. There are some things I cannot say on air that right now that, you know, I saw there when I was in the civil service. And, you know, even as a Christian, it's very difficult to survive in those kind of environments.
Okay, thank you so much. We are actually out of time, so I will go around and ask each of you to tell me what's keeping you up at night. Jimmy.
Rudolph, when fuel will be available and maybe subsidy will be taken off, I will buy it maybe 200 naira per liter. I will know we are going to get it, and nobody will also use that to steal our money in Nigeria. So I'm thinking seriously about when this will be in place.
That's a good point. But before you go, let me ask you, Jimmy, will you support the removal of oil subsidy? If that is a solution to this fuel scarcity.
I'm telling you, I will, because if it's a way to kill the Nigerian economy, what's the point? You know, how can you give me a loaf of bread, and when you give me a loaf of bread, eventually what you do is that you collect my wallet? Doesn't make sense.
All right. Thank you so much. Yemi, what's keeping you up at night?
Well, the transition program, the taking over of the new government, and the first 100 days, like what Shogo said, is a huge challenge ahead of us. But I'm staying positive. I'm staying very optimistic that this new administration is really going to make a difference in the next 4 years of Nigerian democracy.
All right, thank you. Shogo, what's keeping you up at night?
The rotten system in Nigeria, in terms of the government, the stealing, and the insecurity.
All right, thank you so much. Hansen, what's keeping you up at night?
Rudolph, one guy told me last time that I went to Nigeria that Nigeria is a country built on corruption and fraud. So the very day corruption will be taken away from Nigeria, Nigeria will be collapsed. So what I try to say is that I wish Buhari the best, and I hope that they will better the life of Nigerians. But if you ask me, I'm not hoping anything. Next 100 years, except they do the right thing. Thanks.
All right. Hansen in Geneva. Hansen, thank you so much for joining us.
You are not pessimistic.
Hansen, thank you so much for joining us.
Sorry?
I said thank you for joining us.
Oh, Rudolph, thanks so much.
Yeah. Jimmy,
Rudolph, we should name Hansen Dr. Damages of our program.
Jimmy, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome, Rudolph.
Yemi in Canada. Yemi, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
I've entered the mouth. That's good.
And Shogo, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, SaharaTV. I love what you guys are doing. I love the revolution that you guys are causing, and God bless you.
Thank you. So we've come to the end of our program today, our show. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to remind you that on Friday and on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., we are going to bring you special coverage of the inauguration of the Buhari administration. So we hope you will be there to join us. On behalf of everybody here at SaharaTV, I want to thank you for watching, and join us on Friday. Bye.